everybody. I am going to talk to you about who doesn't like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Does anybody remember this? I think I might be dating myself, but anyway, I want to talk to you about, this is actually the anniversary on Sunday of this movie, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I just think it's really cool that there's actually a true story behind this awesome movie. It was one of my favorites when I was growing up. So I thought I'd take a minute and read you a little bit of the true story behind Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because there are a lot of people out there that might not be excited about the holidays. Maybe you're going through a hard time and you need a little inspiration. So this story touched me. Every time I read it, it touches me. So if I get a little choked up a little bit, then you'll know why. But I just love the holidays, and sometimes I get to be with my family, sometimes I don't, but there are things and traditions about the holidays that really make it special. So this is one of them for me, and I hope you'll bear with me as I read this really awesome story. Okay, so this is the true story of how Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was created and made into a story, a movie. A man named Robert L. May was depressed and brokenhearted. He stared out his drafty apartment window into the chilling December night. His 4-year-old daughter, Barbara, sat on his lap, quietly sobbing. Bob's wife, Evelyn, was dying of cancer. Little Barbara couldn't understand why her mommy could never come home. Barbara looked up into her dad's eyes and asked, "Why isn't mommy just like everybody else's mommy?" Bob's jaw tightened and his eyes welled with tears. Her question brought waves of grief, but also of anger. It had been the story of Bob's life. Life always had to be different for Bob. When he was a kid, Bob was often bullied by other boys. He was too little at the time to compete in sports. He was often called names he'd rather not remember, and I can relate to that. From childhood, Bob was different and never seemed to fit in. Bob, after completing college, married his loving wife, Evelyn, and was grateful to get a job as a copywriter at Timothy Eaton department store in Toronto during the Great Depression. Then he was blessed with his little girl, but it was all short-lived. Evelyn's bout with cancer stripped them of all their savings, and now Bob and his daughter were forced to live in a 2-room apartment in the poor area of Toronto. Evelyn died just days before Christmas in 1938. Bob struggled to give hope to his child, for whom he couldn't afford to buy a Christmas gift. But if he couldn't buy a gift, he was determined to make one, a storybook. Bob created an animal character in his own mind and told the animal story to little Barbara to give her comfort and hope. Again and again, Bob told the story, embellishing it more and more each time he told it. Who was the character? What was the story all about? The story Bob May created was his own autobiography in fable form. The character he created was a misfit outcast like he was. The name of the character? A little reindeer named Rudolph with a big shiny nose. Bob finished the book just in time to give it to his little girl on Christmas Day. That's the best present ever. But the story doesn't end there. The general manager of the T. Eaton store caught wind of the little storybook and offered Bob May a nominal fee to purchase the rights to print the book. They went on to print Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and distributed it to the children visiting Santa Claus in their stores. By 1946, Eaton's had printed and distributed more than 6 million copies of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That same year, a major publisher wanted to publish the rights from Eaton's to print and update that version of the book. this would hopefully happen today, but I don't think so. In an unprecedented gesture of kindness, the CEO of Eaton's returned all rights back to Bob May. The book became a bestseller. Many toy and marketing deals followed, and Bob May, now remarried and with a growing family, became wealthy from the story he created to comfort his grieving daughter. But the story doesn't end there. Bob's brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, made a song adaptation to Rudolph. Though the song was turned down by such popular vocalists as Bing Crosby, crazy, and Dinah Shore, it was recorded by the singing cowboy Gene Autry. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was released in 1949 and became a phenomenal success, selling more records than any other Christmas song, with the exception of White Christmas. The gift of love that Bob May created for his daughter so long ago kept on returning back to him and blessing him again and again. And Bob May learned the lesson, just like his dear friend Rudolph, that being different isn't so bad. In fact, being different can be a blessing. And that kills me every time. So I hope that if you get a chance, watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and maybe I've given you another way to look at the movie that you may have never known about. But for me, it's definitely a way to take something that is horrible and turn it into something really amazing. And the holidays are about being a blessing. If you are blessed to have lots of family, then be a blessing to other people. And if you are someone that this is a hard time, look for other people around you. And there will be people that will bless you. Out of all bad things, something good comes out of it. It's just time. So, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. I wish you all a wonderful, blessed Merry Christmas.